Cody Rhodes turns on Roman Reigns, Randy Orton turns heel. How did Drew McIntyre get busted open at Bad Blood? Michael Cole can't stand a WWE Superstar. Cody Rhodes shows off a new purchase following Kevin Owens' attack. Is Jacob Fatu related to the Usos? Jey Uso made all the right choices. A Bloodline member mocks Roman Reigns. Let's dive right in. Randy Orton turns heel. In a surprising turn of events, Randy Orton, renowned for treachery, suffered a heartbreaking betrayal on SmackDown as his tag team partner, Kevin Owens, attacked him backstage. The backstage assault occurred after Orton punched KO during a raucous confrontation earlier in the evening. The Viper recollected himself and wanted to talk to his friend. However, Owens attacked the 14-time world champion, confirming the team's split. How will Orton respond? What will the Apex Predator do? Here, we answer these questions by predicting 4 directions for the future Hall of Famer. Number 1. Randy Orton could go after KO as a babyface. KO's backstage assault was the nail in the coffin, a statement that Randy Orton and Kevin Owens were no longer united as friends. Therefore, the prizefighter's actions don't leave the 14-time world champion with much choice. Orton would want revenge. He tried talking sense to his former friend, but his good intentions backfired. In a sense, Owens made a fool of the Viper. Hence, Armageddon could be upon the former Universal Champion. Triple H could keep Orton off TV for a few weeks to sell the betrayal and backstage assault. The extra time would allow KO to build more heel heat, and the Apex Predator could return for revenge. Number 2. The Viper could turn heel. Ironically, Randy Orton was serving as the voice of reason on SmackDown, attempting to resolve the dispute between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, 2 of his closest friends on TV. Nonetheless, Orton's efforts were in vain as his friendship with KO disintegrated. Realizing that the new attitude did him no favors, the 14-time world champion could return to his critically acclaimed 2009 version, where he heard voices in his head and committed egregious sins. Heel Orton also briefly came to the fore on SmackDown, as he briefly lost his cool when he punched KO during their argument. Number 3. Orton could head to Raw to avoid Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. After getting caught in the mess between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton could decide to switch brands and embark on a journey where he would not have to face his former friends. This seems unlikely for Orton's character, who has historically never run away from fight and battled everything with immense courage. However, KO's betrayal and Rhodes' alliance with the Bloodline may present no other option. Fighting with KO and Rhodes may be a dead end. It may also be inconvenient as the Viper no longer has any allies. In contrast, Raw would present new opportunities and challenges that would have nothing to do with his former friends. Number 4. Randy Orton could completely back Cody Rhodes. Although his friendship with KO may be finished, the same cannot be said for Randy Orton's relationship with Cody Rhodes. A definitive betrayal or indication is yet to be witnessed, and reconciliation could be possible. With Owens out of the picture as an ally, Orton could decide to devote himself to the American Nightmare in his war against the new Bloodline and KO. Not only would this give the Viper new allies in Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, but it would also make room for revenge against KO. The eventual betrayal could come later, once Owens and the Bloodline are out of the picture, leading to the much-anticipated clash between Orton and Rhodes. How did Drew McIntyre get busted open at Bad Blood? WWE Superstar Drew McIntyre was left battered and bruised after a grueling Hell in a Cell match against CM Punk at Bad Blood. Despite giving it his all, he ultimately fell short. Meanwhile, former WWE star Stevie Richards offered a potential explanation for the Scottish Warrior's head gash during the Premium Live event in Atlanta. Inside the Hell in a Cell, Punk and McIntyre used every available object to inflict damage on each other. Reportedly, only the voice of the voiceless was intended to bleed using blading. At the same time, the Scottish psychopath sustained a legitimate injury when he was struck in the head with a metal toolbox. The injury required 16 staples to close. Speaking on his The Stevie Richards Show, the veteran claimed that Drew McIntyre's cut at Bad Blood was caused by a sharp object on the bottom of the toolbox, not by CM Punk's strike. The former WWE Superstar suggested that viewers rewatch the match frame by frame to see what he meant. I'm telling you flat right there when the toolbox hit McIntyre's head. That's the part that gashes him. It's got to be dude. Punk didn't hit him hard enough to split them. It feels more like this, now that I'm looking at it for like the 20th time. That's how it happened. Everybody can leave a comment on my YouTube video, and you go back and watch it frame by frame. But I believe something was on the bottom of the toolbox that cut him open, Richards said. Steve Richards was part of WWE from 1999 to 2008. He was popular for his gimmicks in WCW's Blue World Order in 1996 and the Right to Censor faction during the early 2000s in the Stamford-based company. Following the Bad Blood Premium Live event, fans anticipated the Scottish Warrior to appear on this week's Monday Night Raw. However, he did not. Many critics and pundits have suggested that Drew McIntyre should now shift his focus away from the Second City Devil and transition to the SmackDown brand. Meanwhile, CM Punk made his presence felt on the Red brand before coming face-to-face with Seth Rollins. The former World Heavyweight Champion revealed he was still feeling the effects of the grueling match at Bad Blood and would require a brief hiatus from the ring. It will be exciting to see what the future holds for Drew McIntyre and CM Punk upon their next return to the WWE. Michael Cole can't stand a WWE Superstar. Michael Cole sent a message sometime before WWE SmackDown saying that his feelings about a WWE star had changed now. He admitted that he used to adore her before, and had respected her as well. Bayley may have lost her match at Bad Blood, but she ended up having an interaction with Cole where the announcer called out her behavior. Michael Cole and Bayley had an exchange when the announcer was getting ready for SmackDown. The former champion posted the exchange on her Instagram story. There, Cole said that while he used to adore and respect her, he now could not stand it anymore. This is how their conversation went. Cole: "You know, Bayley, I used to adore you, respect you. Now, I can't handle it anymore." Bayley: "Is that your final word?" Cole: "That's my final word, Bayley. That's it. I'm going to Nia Jax you." Both stars have often bantered and teased each other on social media. This seems to be an example of this trend continuing. Bayley in particular has been Cole's bane, making his life difficult. It remains to be seen if this turns into an on-screen storyline. Cody Rhodes shows off a new purchase following Kevin Owens' attack. Cody Rhodes recently hit the 6-month mark in his reign as the undisputed WWE champion. His huge victory at Bad Blood 2024 was tainted by a post-show brawl with Kevin Owens, but the American Nightmare clearly did not let things keep him down as he bounced back with a massive purchase. Rhodes has been a bus guy since early 2021 as he revealed his first luxury travel coach around 600 days after AEW's inaugural event. When returning to WWE in 2022, Cody noted then that the company gave him a state-of-the-art bus so that his family could travel along with him. Since then, the 39-year-old star's coach has been pretty involved, as we have seen the bus in the background of various segments. There was a bus fire during WrestleMania XL weekend. Cody has given countless interviews on the bus, and Kevin Owens legitimately hurt Rhodes outside of the bus. Cody recently traded up for a new travel bus, and he has given it a name, Liberty One. His wife, Brandi Rhodes, took to X/Twitter showing the bus tour footage, showing off what she calls the new American Nightmare bus. Brandi's bus tour opens with a look at the couch bed area. She jokes about how sleep is needed as things get crazy on the bus. The tour continues into a double-bed cabin with a bathroom, which is where their daughter, Liberty, stays when she travels with her parents. The main bedroom is next, along with a washer-dryer area and bathroom. Rhodes wrapped the tour by joking about the bus fire during WrestleMania 40 weekend in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Liberty One: "Thank you guys for coming and checking it out. We hope it does not catch fire like the last bus because that was scary," Brandi Rhodes said. Cody Rhodes inked a new multi-year contract extension back in March, but it remains to be seen if the new bus is related in any way. The American Nightmare had been planning to retire at the age of 40, but the most recent contract will extend that timeline. Cody Rhodes is the current undisputed WWE champion, but he will soon have the chance to become the inaugural WWE Crown Jewel champion. Triple H has confirmed a new tradition to begin at the Crown Jewel 2024 Premium Live event on November 2nd. The top main roster champions will compete each year at the PLE in Saudi Arabia for the new show-specific titles. Cody is representing SmackDown as he goes up against Raw's World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. The inaugural WWE Women's Crown Jewel Champion will be crowned when Women's World Champion Liv Morgan from Raw takes on WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax from SmackDown. Cody Rhodes and the other top champions will not be defending their respective singles championships in the title matches at Crown Jewel 2024. Is Jacob Fatu related to the Usos? Jacob Fatu has climbed the popularity ladder and become one of the most fearsome pro wrestlers since making his WWE debut earlier this year. Many fans see him as a future world champion, and even feel he would play a vital role in the Bloodline saga in the coming months. Recently, the Samoan Werewolf teamed up with Solo Sikoa to battle the team of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns at Bad Blood 2024. However, the heel duo lost the bout due to Jimmy Uso's interference, as the original tribal chief pinned Sikoa. On the recent episode of SmackDown, the Bloodline took out Jimmy Uso and the OTC. Solo's version of the Bloodline has proven to be the most dominant version of the stable, which incorporates members from the Samoan and Tongan dynasties. Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, adoptive, are sons of Haku and are not directly related to Solo, the Usos, or The Rock. Is Jacob Fatu related to the Usos? The Samoan werewolf and the Usos, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, are cousins. Rikishi, Jimmy J and Solo's father, and Fatu's dad, Sam Fatu, the Tonga Kid, are twin brothers. Also, Sam is the nephew of the late Wild Samoans, Afa Anoa'i and Sika Anoa'i. This means that Jacob is also related to Roman Reigns. While talking about Jacob's future in WWE on his Wrestling with Freddie podcast, Freddie Prinze Jr. stated that if the Samoan werewolf was good on the mic, he could become the next tribal chief. That dude, I don't know if he's gonna be a heavyweight champion, like a world champion. He'd have to be able to talk on the mic. But they gotta do something with Jacob Fatu and this whole bloodline thing, like maybe one day he's the head of the bloodline, I don't know, if he can ever talk. I didn't know if Solo would be able to, and he can. So, you never know with guys, he said. Jey Uso made all the right choices. Main event. Jey Uso is the current WWE Intercontinental Champion. The star finally won the first singles title of his 15-year career in World Wrestling Entertainment. And WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi is a proud father. Uso grew out of being Roman Reigns' right-hand man in the Bloodline, moved to Monday Night Raw, and won the IC title, all in the span of a full calendar year. Speaking on Rikishi Fatu off the top, Rikishi praised his son for being a role model who makes the right choices rather than being a troublemaker. He said, "Jey is not a character. That is really that kid. That kid is just a lovable kid. He is not a liability. He is not one of those troublemakers. He's a company man, a good role model. He's been through some stuff. Being a son of a wrestler and being on the road, you see a lot of stuff, man. You can either go left or go right. And he's made the right choices all the way through, and look at your new Intercontinental Champion." On Friday, Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso kicked off SmackDown. Jimmy was finally getting respect from the OTC, and it looks like Uso has become his own man rather than being someone's sidekick. Despite a pleasant reunion, Jimmy reminded Roman that they needed help to take down the Bloodline as the numbers game was against them this time around. Uso then stated that he knew someone who could help them out. However, Reigns outright said, "No yeet." WWE has seemingly sown the seeds for what now looks like a foregone conclusion. Dave Meltzer recently noted that the endgame is for the ongoing Bloodline Civil War to culminate at Survivor Series War Games. Although it seemed Jey Uso and Braun Breaker's rivalry ended after Uso won the belt and Breaker shook his hand a week later, WWE reverted to the storyline following Bad Blood. It will be interesting to see how the creative books the reunion between the original Bloodline members ahead of Survivor Series. A Bloodline member mocks Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns had a rough return to WWE SmackDown as he received a beatdown from the Bloodline. Today, Tama Tonga was seen in a video mocking the original tribal chief's new nickname. Earlier this year, Solo Sikoa created a new bloodline following Roman Reigns' hiatus. In the coming months, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu debuted in WWE and acknowledged Sikoa as their tribal chief on Friday Night SmackDown. On the latest edition of WWE SmackDown, Solo Sikoa went head-to-head with Jimmy Uso in a one-on-one match. During the match, Tama Tonga was ringside when he encountered a fan. The current tag team champion mocked the original tribal chief while interacting with the fan. The star mocked the meaning of OTC and walked away while laughing. The storyline continues as Reigns and Uso seek revenge on the Bloodline. At SummerSlam 2024, Roman Reigns made an earth-shattering return to the Stamford-based company and attacked Solo Sikoa. In the coming weeks, Sikoa brawled with Reigns as the Bloodline, especially Jacob Fatu, helped the faction get the upper hand. A few weeks later, the original tribal chief teamed up with the American Nightmare to take on Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu in Atlanta at Bad Blood. Reigns and Rhodes won as the Tongans were handled by a returning Jimmy Uso. However, The Rock also made a brief appearance at the event. On the latest edition of Friday Night SmackDown, Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns decided to take on the group. In the show's main event, Sikoa defeated Uso, and the rest of the Bloodline jumped the duo. In the end, Jimmy stated that they were going to need help to take Solo Sikoa down for good. It seems like Uso was hinting at a reunion with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn in the coming weeks. It'll be interesting to see how the original version of the faction bands together against Solo Sikoa. Cody Rhodes turns on Roman Reigns. Veteran wrestling journalist Bill Apter recently spoke about Roman Reigns and his current popularity with the WWE Universe. He felt it was the perfect opportunity for the heel turn of another babyface, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns joined forces at Bad Blood to take down the combined forces of the new Bloodline. Although the two successfully won, the faction is far from being destroyed, with Solo Sikoa leading the retaliation this week on SmackDown. This week on Wrestling Time Machine, Apter claimed that fans were leaning toward Roman as the babyface. He mentioned this was a great opportunity for WWE to turn the American Nightmare heel and have him betray the original tribal chief somewhere down the line. The Hall of Fame journalist felt it would be a great storyline with reversed dynamics. It's a perfect entree for the American Nightmare to become an American Nightmare down the road where the fans are cheering more for Roman than him. After a while, maybe that's enough, and he attacks Roman. This week on the Blue Brand, Solo Sikoa defeated Jey Uso in a singles match. In the aftermath of the encounter, Roman Reigns came to Jimmy's aid, but the Bloodline dealt a 4-on-2 beatdown on Roman and Jimmy. This left Roman and Jimmy lying in pain in the ring. Uso even mentioned to Roman that they needed support to take down the new Bloodline.